Bihar elections are just a few months away, and we are in Patna where the election season already seems to be on. And I would say Patna is also the capital of politics in this country. And today I'm joined by perhaps the most watched face in the Bihar elections, which are soon coming. He's Union Minister of Food Processing and the leader of the Lok Janshakti Party, Mr. Chirag Paswan. And Chirag Paswan, thank you so much for joining us on CNN News 18 in Patna here. And the first question I would ask you, that Nitish Kumar ji has been the chief minister for almost the last 2 decades in Bihar. This is a very crucial election in which you're going into. What do you think are the NDA's chances in this election, and what is your party's strategy as a part of the NDA?
Well, not because I'm the part of the alliance, but then yes, I'm extremely confident that this is a winning combination, of the 5 parties, 5 allies that, we are together under NDA banner. I think it is an absolute winning combination, and we have proved ourselves during by-polls. We had by-polls in 4 different Vidhan Sabhas, and we managed to win those seats as well, which NDA couldn't win for the past almost 3.5 decades. Seats like Belaganj, for 3.5 decades, NDA was not able to win that seat. Tarari, we managed to win this seat, So this increases my confidence that it is a winning combination, and together we are heading towards a big victory. I'm extremely confident that this time it's going to be all-time high. It's going to be a historic win, not for the heck of saying it, but I genuinely believe it's going to be a historic win. We're going to bag more than 225 seats is what I believe. As far as my position as one of the allies, I'm trying my level best to give my 100% to this alliance. To contribute the max that I can do. I am holding rallies across the state. We started with Shahabad. We did this rally on 8th of June in Ara, and then we did a huge rally, primarily focusing on the voters coming from the scheduled caste. So we did this Bahujan Bhim Samagam in Rajgir. And now we are heading towards another rally that will take place on the 6th in Chhapra, and then Munger, and then Gayaji, and that's how we have planned it. So I'm trying my best to charge up my voters to make them understand that how beneficial this double engine government is for our state, and whatever that's been done by the center and the state. I mean, it is a matter of pride for us that the Prime Minister is visiting our state one after the other. It's not within an year of the 3rd term that was formed. He visited my state 7 times. So this increases my confidence that my state is priority for my Prime Minister. And together, the Chief Minister and the Prime Minister, the Kendra Sarkar and the Rajya Sarkar, I think they are working hand in gloves. And this needs to be communicated well between the voters, and that's what I'm trying to do.
The NDA seat sharing, sir, in Bihar especially, we've seen in past elections, always goes into the last lap. There is a lot of back and forth always. You are now saying NDA is going to win 225 seats. How many seats does LGP want to fight?
You know what, this is $1 million question. I think I've been asked this question every time we approach elections. But then, as you also know, and I think you have started your question with this clarity that, it takes time. And I know it takes time, but then eventually, it happens very, very amicably. Repeatedly we have seen this is my 6th seat sharing negotiation with Bharatiya Janata Party. I started in 2014 with Bharatiya Janata Party, 2015, 2019, 2020. 20 was little different, is the reason why I opted out of the alliance. But then 24 we did it very amicably again. And I'm equally confident that 2025, again, it will be done very, very amicably. It will be extremely wrong on my part if I share any figure or a number with you before I do that within the alliance.
Because the buzz is that because LGP has a very good strike rate, in earlier elections, that is why you want more seats. You're showing your performance and then asking for more seats.
Absolutely. And I think this is how it should be. And I think this is how the alliance has taken it also always, because it's not always that you see a single member party, where you are the lone member parliament from your party, you get 5 seats from the alliance to contest. But then again, I have proved myself. I had an 100% strike rate. I am performing, I'm showing my performance, I'm having rallies across the state. So I'm confident, and I think that's how it should be. I think every ally should get the numbers as per their strength, as per their winnability factor.
And one statement of yours which has stunned political circles, I think also the Chief Minister, is that you want to contest the assembly elections. Now everybody is saying Mr. Chirag Paswan is a union minister, he's an MP. Why does he want to contest an assembly election? I think Nitish Kumar also asked you that, if I'm not wrong, that why do you want to contest an election, Chirag, in the state?
He wanted to know that am I really serious when I say this, and if yes, then which area, which Vidhan Sabha I'm looking at. But having said that, yes, I really want to. This is my personal wish. I want to contest Bihar Vidhan Sabha. I don't see myself too much in the center. My whole purpose of entering politics was for Bihar and Biharis. I've been born and brought up in Delhi. I've worked in Mumbai. But I have seen that how miserably, Biharis are forced to live in different states of our country. They are forced to leave our state, settle down abroad. So I want to, Bihar First, Bihari First is the vision which I'm going ahead with. And Bihar First, Bihari First primarily believes not only in stopping the migration, rather making it reverse migration. All those who have left the state, I want them to come back to my state. That's the kind of ecosystem I want to develop here, which I have realized, being the third time member of parliament, is not possible living in Delhi and doing it. So I think it's high time, when I talk about my state, when I talk about Bihar First, Bihari First, it's high time that I should move back to my state, come back here, and is the reason why I have voiced it. Having said it, the final decision needs to be taken by the party. Before you ask me a counter question, because every time I say that the party needs to take this final call, so there's a counter question that you are the party, you are the national president of the party.
You are the high command.
If you want to contest, who's going to stop you? I do agree to that. Nobody can stop me if I want to contest. But then the fact is that the party needs to decide whether it's beneficial for the party and for the alliance, me contesting the election or not. Party is doing the surveys, they're still working on it. How beneficial will it be, me contesting the election? Or whether I'll be too engaged in taking care of my constituency and my election, and I'll not be able to give that much time to the ally parties. So yes, the talks are on. I think final decision will be taken by the Central Parliamentary Board once officially a report is sent by the state unit.
But in your mind, have you narrowed down any 2 to 3 seats where, which are on the toss? Because your party has a history of, very strong seats in Bihar. Your father, late Ramvilas Paswan ji also, and you took a chance, I think last time you shifted your seat also, and you still want. So any 2-3 seats you're thinking?
I do have. I'm not going to give you the names, but then I do have. My party has also suggested me contesting from a general seat. So that is also an option that we are evaluating. But I think very soon we'll come out with a final decision.
Chirag, another speculation which does the rounds is that you want to enter state politics because Bihar also has this history of having multiple deputy CMs. If the NDA wins, are you looking at a deputy chief minister role?
To be very honest, I'm not looking at any post. Let me be extremely honest. I come from a family where I've seen it all. So for me, this doesn't lure, me having a post, my party having a post. If that would have been my priority, I think in 2020, I wouldn't have left the alliance. In 2020, if I would have contested with the alliance, I would have managed to win at least, 10 to 12 seats, whatever number of seats that they were giving me that time, which was around 15. I would have managed to win 10 to 12 seats. I would have been the central minister that time itself, 4 years before. And I would be having a couple of ministers here in the state from my party. So that has never been a matter of interest for me. Having said that, what I'm aiming at is that the alliance should perform well. We should achieve our target. And definitely, as per the strength of the parties, everybody will be given their respective role in the government. But then if you're asking me that if myself personally aiming for a deputy or anything of that sort, no. If given circumstance, if a situation like this comes, so that would be one of the deserving party men.
So you will not be the deputy chief minister, but choose one of your party men for the post if the choice arises.
Definitely, yes.
Okay. One significant difference from the last election, 2020, when you contested alone and you famously said, I am Narendra Modi's Hanuman. And you did cause a lot of loss to Mr. Nitish Kumar in that election. His seats came down in a big way.
Thank you for reminding that repeatedly.
But this time, now you're asking for
right
votes.
before the election, that's the last thing anybody would want to hear. Anyways, yes, please.
But this time the situation is different. You're effectively asking for votes in the name of Nitish Kumar. He is the sitting chief minister. How do you relate to these two things now? Obviously your cadre may be asking you some tough questions, and public also maybe.
No, of course they do ask these questions, but I think if anybody who understands the concept behind it, that why it all happened. So immediately after 2019 election, I think I need to clear the air, what was the reason, why I went so aggressive. So in 2019, immediately after the Lok Sabha election, I don't know why, but somehow I felt that, me and my party is being cornered. That was the time when my father wasn't keeping very well. And then later on, he was admitted for the longest time in the hospital. And that was the time when the whole negotiations were taking place. And since my father was not that active and he was in hospital, and I do understand, because that time, comparatively, I was very naive, I was very new, they thought that after my father, I'll not be able to pull it off the way that, he always used to do. So in a way, I was being cornered in the alliance. I was not being asked, told, not to be kept in the loop. So I think because of that, I started disconnecting with the alliance. I wanted X number of seats. Anyways, that was not the concern. But then I wanted my Bihar First, Bihari First agenda to be the part of the government agenda. But that was also outrightly rejected that time. So when I was not given any space within the alliance, so I had no other option but to voice it out on public domains and through media. And that's what I started doing. Not that I don't have issues and concerns now. Now also, of course, I do have. But now I've been given that space within the alliance, and my issues, they not only get acknowledged, but they also get addressed, So now I don't need to use media, or I don't need to go on a public domain and say that this is wrong and this is not happening the right way.
So you buried the hatchet with Nitish Kumar?
You have to. I mean, not only with him personally, but then I think if you're the part of a system, you have to be wholeheartedly there, or else you'll be spoiling your own group itself.
So one thing I want you to clarify, there is the biggest mystery in Delhi, that BJP says they're going into this election with Nitish Kumar as the chief minister. But nobody says that if you win the election, Nitish Kumar will be the chief minister for sure. What is your take on it?
So let me say this on behalf of my alliance. He will be the chief minister, and I think the alliance is very, very clear. It's just that this is one question which has been asked repeatedly, one after the other.
Irrespective of the seats, who wins, which party wins?
Of course, yes. Last time also it happened.
Yes.
And Bharatiya Janata Party. I respect them, because they walk the talk. Whatever that they commit, they
Despite
do that.
his concerns over his health, which the opposition is raising.
I think it's more been blown out of proportion than what exactly it is. Had that been one of the concern, we would have discussed it within the alliance, but it is not a matter of concern. So I'm extremely sure that not only will be contesting elections under his leadership, but after the result, which I'm extremely confident it's going to be a superb result, he'll be taking oath as the chief minister of my state once again.
That's very important. And a big issue which is actually concerning your state right now is this election commission going for this revision of the electoral rolls. It's become a big concern. The opposition is going to EC. You think this is well thought out, because very less time is left for the elections? There's a big concern that the poor people in your state may not have the documents, to go, and they may lose out to vote. Is that a concern to you?
I think this is one process which has been followed on a regular interval, and I don't understand that why opposition, anything that we do, make it a political issue, try and formulate narratives around it, that this is happening because they want to do this is happening. There are processes, which has been adopted on regular intervals and which needs to be done, most of the time, we have voters complaining that the falana person is not there anymore, but still, his or her name is there in the voter list. My name is not there. So you have to sanitize these things on a regular basis, and that's why it's been done. Of course, there are concerns, with documents being available or not. But then I think the local prasashan is more than willing to help them with. We as, a party organization, we are helping them with. Of course, because we also have concern about those who are not the part of the voter list, they also needs to be inducted. And I think Election Commission has made it extremely simple. They have bifurcated in a couple of categories, before 2003 and the one who has voted in 2003 and post-election and the new ones voting for the first time. So they've bifurcated it. Having said it all, I think it's all to create a perception that, center is trying to create some kind of a nuisance so that tomorrow when they lose election, because before this they used to repeatedly blame EVM for this, that because of the EVM, because of the EVM, because of the EVM. Now that narrative couldn't work. So now this is a new thing that they have got in their hand. Had they been this serious, Election Commission has commented on this, that they are not serious about it because they didn't go for the representation, out of all the parties who were making an hue and cry over this, only 2 of them they represented in front of the Election Commission. Also, they are just talking about it. Give proof, no? Prove what you are saying. Give us the proof that this is wrong happening, that is wrong happening. Not even a single evidence confirming or authenticating what you are saying is being presented before the Election Commission. So just to create a perception that whatever center does is wrong, I don't think that works anymore.
Many in Delhi so feel that Prashant Kishore is like an X factor in this election. You are on the ground, I want to ask your opinions. Prashant Kishore an X factor, who will he hurt?
Definitely an factor, I don't know, X factor, Y factor, Z factor. I was once an X factor in 2020, so definitely Prashant Bhai would not like to hear this, that a similar X factor is coming because of the way I performed, because he would definitely want to win a lot more seats than what I won in 2020. Having said it all, with my personal experience, I'm saying not to demotivate anybody, but through my personal experience, I believe that eventually in my state, because the people are so politically aware, the elections become bipolar. By the time you go in to vote, it becomes bipolar. So eventually, I think it's going to be either NDA or Mahagathbandhan. I don't think any third party, maybe, there'll be a factor in denting either this alliance, that alliance, I don't know. Time will tell. But in terms of winnability, I don't see much space. Again, this is on a personal experience, I'm saying.
So my last question to you, who is the real Yuva Bihari? Is it you? Is it Tejashwi or is it Prashant Kishore?
I don't know what is the age bracket of being Yuva, because me and my younger brother and my friend Prashant ji, we have quite a difference between our age. But having said it all, I think this is one call that the people of Bihar needs to take. Ultimately, they will be choosing who's the correct Yuva Bihari whom they believe in. So I think let's leave it to the people of Bihar. Elections are around the corner. Very soon we'll have an answer.
Well, Chirag Paswan ji giving us 2 big headlines. One is saying that Nitish Kumar will be the chief minister if the NDA wins, irrespective of how many seats each party wins. And he's also saying he will not be the deputy chief minister. If that question arises, he would love to give it to one of his party members. Thank you so much, Chirag ji, for joining us.
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you.